Hello everyone and welcome back to the Nerd Den here once again, and in today's video I am going to be talking about Doctor Who. Yes, something that probably some of you thought, oh, I'm done with Doctor Who because I've started uploading other forms of content. No, that isn't the case. Doctor Who, well, I mean, I've got a video coming out explaining all this, but Doctor Who will always kind of be like my main focus as well. But with news being a little bit scarce and my love for film and TV, I want to branch off and talk about other topics, obviously being the Nerd Den. But yeah, there's been a little bit of an update from Russell T Davies. Yes, the mastermind behind the first era of Doctor Who when it was revived in 2005, brought back from its cancellation, and then he recently wrote something for 2023, 2024, and 2025. But yeah, he's been speaking about Doctor Who recently. And on a radio show or podcast, I'm not entirely sure which one it is, he did an interview where he spoke about Doctor Who's future. And this is the first time where he's kind of gave a little bit more of an in-depth look into what's going to happen with Doctor Who. It's still not like concrete, but I think it kind of puts things into perspective where basically Doctor Who's in limbo. It's not being cancelled, but it's kind of left where it is because of Disney. So yeah, with all that being said, let's get into the video. So this is coming from William Who on Twitter, who posted this video clip, which I'm not going to play, but basically he says that Russell talks about the future of Doctor Who, likely won't have a decision from Disney until a few months after the last episode, whilst Disney look at the viewing figures and all that stuff. So obviously, yeah, we've probably got all the final important viewing figures in the UK for the Reality War, and obviously for all of season 2, but obviously Disney Plus, the way things work internationally is a little bit different, so they're probably waiting, to add all that up. And also, let's not forget, we've got the War Between Land and Sea airing as well later this year, so that might factor into that as well. But basically, to summarise this clip, which I'll include in a post down below, or like in a link down below, sorry. Essentially, Russell T Davies has reiterated that a decision from Disney won't be until a few months after the Reality War, so it could happen later this year. We might get some confirmation on what's going on with Doctor Who, but they can't greenlight anything until Disney decide what's going on. So if Disney decides to renew, then yeah, they can move forward with pre-production and all that cool stuff, but they can't do anything because they are still under contract with Disney until they can recommission something. But if they can't, then they'll get that phone call and then they'll be like, okay, are we going to do this solely through the BBC, which I'll be honest, I don't think will ever happen again, or they'll go to another streamer to help fund it. But yeah, there could be a new version of the contract as well brought up, so that could maybe change things moving forward if Disney decide to renew. Like, it could be a different contract, it might be for just one season maybe. But one thing that Russell does point out here, that he is disappointed that they can't stick to that annual Who plan that was promised. But unfortunately, that's the downside to going into a co-production with a streamer, is that you've got to satisfy both parties, really, which is a shame. It really is a shame. But he does also point out that the fact that Doctor Who might not be missed by casual audiences because of the fact that streaming, there's always something to watch, so it might not potentially be missed by casual audiences. But we'll just have to wait and see. I do feel like Doctor Who will definitely come back, but I'm not too sure if it will be under Disney. I'm leaning towards heavily that it won't be under Disney. And it also does seem like, because Russell does also mention the fact that certain people have been saying, like, oh yeah, there should be a new showrunner, that sort of thing. And yeah, like, for me, again, I'll include a link to this down below, because obviously, like, copyright, that sort of thing, but it does make me believe that there could be plans moving forward for Doctor Who, but whether they incorporate Russell T Davies or not, we'll just have to wait and see, because I don't know, like, some of the interviews that Russell's been given post the Reality War, it kind of seems like he's done. But that's just my opinion. But we'll just have to wait and see, because we don't know what's going on with Doctor Who yet. So there we go, that is our look at some Doctor Who news, which I'll be honest, isn't really promising or whatever. It's just kind of summarising what we know already. but adding Russell's own personal opinions into it. But let me know what you think, because it's certainly an interesting listen. And I imagine we probably won't get anything until maybe around the time the War Between Land and Sea airs. Maybe that might be part of the press circuit. They might be like, oh yeah, by the way, this spin-off's happening, but Doctor Who might be happening. There we go. Yeah, something like that. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. If you're on around here, please click that like button and subscribe for more nerdy content, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you very much for all the support, and goodbye for now.